What's up guys, it's Danny, and you're probably wondering why my arm is like this, but that is because we are building and reviewing the LEGO Star Wars
Mos Eisley Spaceport
Cantina. This is set number 75290. It has 3,187 pieces and is recommended for ages 18 plus. But more importantly guys, this is a Master Builder Series set. Now essentially the difference between MBS and UCS, Ultimate Collector Series, is that this is going to be more of a play style layout, whereas the UCS style sets are more of a display set and are usually vehicles. A previous MBS example would be the Betrayal on Cloud City set, which actually is quite different considering there were a lot of larger pieces, blocks, and panels. This one focuses a lot more on small details, which is why I think this set is so fantastic and should be the bar for all future Master Builder Series sets to come. In addition to that, you're going to get 21 minifigures to pack your cantina with, a big fig dewback, 2 speeders, and quite a configurable layout. And I mean, this dewback is just amazing. It's the only dewback that I've ever had, and as a big fig mold, it just looks so wonderful. And like this dewback, if you want to come back, don't forget to subscribe to my channel with notifications on so you know when I post. Oh, and like the video, for crying out loud. Now, I would also categorize Assault on Hoth and the Ewok Village as this because they are more playstyle builds with lots of minifigures, but that wasn't exactly determined until more recently. So UCS style sets, in my opinion, should be more focused on the display and just come with like maybe 1 or 2 minifigures, whereas this is the bread and butter for lots of minifigures behind a very high paywall. But enough of that babbling, let's get on to the speed build. Taking a look at the instruction manual here, we actually get 7 introductory pages, starting out with Luke at the cantina ordering some blue milk. We also get a call out to Chalmun's Cantina, which is the actual name, but is better known by the spaceport Mos Eisley. On the next page, we get to meet the model and designer who shows his attachment to this set when he first watched the movie when he was 12 years old. Then we see how they had to narrow down the 40 featured characters in this scene down to just 21 minifigures. The next 2-page spread gives us a little bit more background information in case you haven't seen the movie recently, but I definitely suggest going back and watching it since it only lasts for a few minutes, and this is the 3rd cantina set that we've gotten in LEGO to immortalize this set. Now, the thing that's never been included before is the V-35 Landspeeder, which I actually had to go back and rewatch to see, as it's only seen for several seconds in this shot here. They also call out here that it has never been created as an official LEGO Star Wars model before, and the fact that they included it in this set really shows the dedication of the designer to all of the details from the source material. Looking at the instruction style, we actually have 2 bags for that V-35 Landspeeder, and then up until about bag 15, you're just building the cantina. After that, you start to get on to the additional buildings, which is the Jawa Junk Shop, and it's very interesting how you can actually clip these on together or just completely configure it in your own style, so you can customize the layout of the set. While we're here, I want to take a second to talk about this V-35 Landspeeder, which is quite easily my favorite land speeder that's ever been created in LEGO. There are other great speeders out there, but this one is just so smooth, so sleek, and so accurate, which I love. Now, the first thing that I'll note is the bottom, which has these slider pieces on it, so it does move across all surfaces quite nicely. And then because this is side built, you have a really nice smooth effect on both the top and the bottom. And then they actually went the extra mile and put these sloped pieces on the bottom side of the carriage, so the whole thing looks really finished off, and this is the only underside of studs that you get on this entire vehicle. Well, I guess you can include these wing pieces too, right? Then on the top, you have this really cool build technique where the entire spoiler is actually built upside down, placed on some of these pins and rounded tiles, and I think that was a really cool build technique to get this spoiler effect. And there are several stickers from these stickers here on the sides, on both sides in fact, to the control panels, which are both separate stickers. You can fit a figure in the cockpit here, and you can also actually stand one guy in the back. I suppose you could put an astromech back here too, for a total of 3 figures in this land speeder, but gotta be my favorite land speeder build ever. The other speeder that is included in this set is this little Greedo cupcake, which is a very interesting build. It is very accurate, actually taking a quick side-by-side right here. They just look like cupcakes. They're really cute, but I don't think they could have built this any better. This just looks so good. Even the stickers are down to a T. It's got this really interesting cheese slope design on the body to make it look more detailed. Then you've got these stickers all the way around, 4 of these. And then it's just finished off with very similar to the Probe Droid build, in fact. You can fit a figure inside here, and you've got one of those standard Star Wars control panels on the inside. Getting to the actual set itself, it is quite large, but still has this other section that can be clipped onto the side. And while it does take up a similar amount of space, if not more lengthwise than Portrayal on Cloud City, it is way more displayable, being much more aesthetically pleasing. You can kind of display it from different angles and configure it as this does come off, and you can kind of put it together if you wanted to save space. But there are lots of things that you can do with this, which first involves taking this centerpiece out and opening up the cantina, allowing you to get full access inside. Because you can take all of these exterior sections out, if you wanted to display this up against a wall with all the interior showing, this is all removable. So there you have a flat surface, put this straight up against the wall, and then you can reenact all of your scenes from the front. And these 2 additional shops, which are the Jawa shop and the junk shop, also come apart, and this one additionally opens as well. So as you can see here, there's quite a lot of interior space, and if you're wondering how you access all of it, they've also thought of that. This bubble opens up, this bubble opens up, and this bubble opens up, and then just about every roof section that you see on here also opens up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is going to open up, and even this little section also comes off. And if that wasn't enough detail and action for you, well, there's 3 sliding doors as well. There's 1, here is 2, and this 3rd one over here. Additionally, we have some Arabesh on the door that reads Cantina, and this door in specific is a little bit different than the other 2. It's a little bit more detailed. You also have a sticker for the door panel on the side, and I really like how all of these doors actually stay up on their own. That was a big flaw with previous sets that had sliding doors, is that you either had to hold them up with a pin or they didn't hold up at all. So this way you can kind of keep it open and reenact a quick escape scene. Over here on the side, we actually have a watering hole for the dewback, and this dewback is a fantastic big fig. The mouth actually opens up, you can drink water, and you can actually remove the saddle and replace it with the piece of his back, which is green. So that all kind of blends in quite nicely. And onto the back, you can see some of that additional detail that I talked about. And instead of using 1 brick, you actually get 4 to 6 pieces to add all of this extra detail using studs, 1x1 plates and 1x2 plates. You can see the brace right there for the cantina to actually unfold. And then we get this back exit door that also has its own control panel right here. So you got another nice sticker. And then this door is similar to the other door on the junk shop, and these do open up quite nicely and stay open. And this leads into the interior that has a couple of things back here. Let's take a look. You can see right there you have the wanted droid sign, which I think is a wonderful detail that they've added. There's also a bunch of these little torches all throughout the cantina build. And then as you can so barely see, there is a broom and some extra bottles stocked in the storeroom in the back. Continuing where we left off, we have a couple of additional details here in the back, and this right here is actually the control panel that is responsible for knocking Greedo off his butt. And then moving right along, we have that last vapor machine, and with some nice details, more of these rings, just finishing the outer edge and coming back to the front.
Hey, We don't serve their kind here.
Why don't you wait out by the speeder? We don't want any trouble.
I heartily agree.
Opening up the cantina here, we get the full interior, Luke walking down the stairs. We've also got lots of other alien species represented here. We got Ponda Babas, the Aqualish, we have Chandra Fawn, we have a Transdoshan, Ithorian, Bith, Rhodian, Deveronian, and of course other characters, including humans. Here you can reenact Luke ordering a blue milk, getting bullied, followed by Obi-Wan slicing off some stranger's arm. One of the first notable things I saw in this interior is actually all these tables that have these lights in the middle, which are very accurate to the scene. Then there's also bottles and cups on various tables in all of these seating sections. And then over here at the Bith stage, you've got a couple of aliens getting jiggy with it, and for some reason Luke Skywalker walking through with Obi-Wan's lightsaber, because he definitely is not supposed to have a lightsaber yet at this point in the movie. As for the actual bar itself, I like that they use that malleable piping all around the edges. I think that looks really nice. They also have a lot of these chrome cylindrical pieces, which really mimics the bar scene. I think those are actually the heads of the IG-88 units, or the IG assassin droids, rather. And then you've got lots of different bottles in different colors of glasses. You've also got a cash register, some actual real drawers, additional bottles, cups, and a storage bin. I also like the usage of these slider pieces to make it look like there are shelves underneath the middle section of the bar. Finishing off the bar section, there is an exit off to the back, but before we get there, this is the section for the classic duo, and you tell me in the comments below who do you think shot first. The instruction manual just straight up says that Han shot first, but if I remember correctly, I thought that they had edited it so it made it look like Greedo shot first, Han dodged it, and then he shot back, but it's hard to tell anymore these days, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Exiting out to the back, we're on to the Jawa's shop. Quite an elegant little junkyard back here. We have the Jawa shop with a cloth awning on top. And then like I mentioned earlier, this right here is going to open up to reveal a full interior. We've got a couple of things here on the sides, binoculars. It looks like we got some additional junk that he's selling. There is a stool, some binoculars, a bucket, and a cup, because even Jawas get thirsty. There's also a little shelf right up here on top. And then right here is one of those sliding doors, just like the back door on the cantina. That one's going to slide. There's also a broom there on the side and a few additional things here with another printed box. I love those printed boxes. As for the other section, I really like the greebling on the roof sections, both here and here, which just kind of makes this stand out as a Master Builder series, because you don't get things like roof greebling on other regular sets. So like I said before, these are both going to come off, and you're going to be able to see the interior on the smaller section a little bit better, where there is a kyber crystal. So I kind of wonder what this Jawa was getting up to. And then there's also a couple of things over here. We have like a pot, a saw, some binoculars, like a rappelling tool, and a shovel. Then on the front, you can see that this seems to be like spare parts for an engine. So yeah, really nice details. Got another one of these AC units. I'm just kidding, I don't really know what that is, but it looks really good. And even on the small building like this, you have that additional detail. Now, I'd first like to start with these two characters, the Aqualish, Ponda Baba, and Dr. Evanson. I didn't recognize this character at first, and that's a real bummer, because I think the biggest defining factor is his nose, and there are no noses on LEGO minifigures, except for actually this guy here. He definitely has a printed nose, so I feel like LEGO would have needed to do something and either print or mold his face, which I know would have been very expensive. But still, if they can print it on Cabe, they should be able to print the nose on Dr. Evanson, which is probably my biggest gripe with all of the minifigures. But despite that, there are 9 figures that are unique to the set. These two are part of that 9 that I just mentioned, and this is an amazing mold right here for Ponda Baba. And I think that it's funny that both of their chests are showing through their torso prints, which is just so, perfect for scum and villainry, right? Then on the back, they just have kind of crinkled up torsos. Obviously, he's molded, so no face on the back. He does have a face on the back right as he realizes what has happened to his friend's arm. Next up here is the Deveronian Labria and the Ithorian Momal Nadon. And again, these are 2 unique figures to this set. Never before had an Ithorian or a Deveronian. He actually has removable horns, as you can see here. Oh, let me just take those horns off. They are quite squishy, and he does have a little bit nicer of a face on the back. Well, actually, he looks kind of mean. And then on the front, he looks even meaner. Our Ithorian here has a really nice continuous print from the torso down to the legs, and also even has foot printing, which I think looks killer. I love the mold for the Ithorian head. And then on the back side, you'll even notice a dual mold here with the orange scarf. So this has got to be like one of my favorite new unique figures to the set. Also unique to the set is the Chandra Fawn Cabe and the Transdoshan Check Kalfas. And these two both look fantastic. both molded heads, molded ears. He also has that nose print, so that's kind of a big win as well. I do like his torso print. I think it looks really nice. And then the Transocean has this little vest with a pocket. He has gunmetal gray legs, which I think is a great color. And then there is the backside, obviously no print because he is molded, and then no print for the Chandrafan. Another unique figure in this set is the Garndon, and this is of course the spy that alerts the Empire that the droids are here on Tatooine. And this is a very interesting figure too because he just has a cowl over a gunmetal gray head that really just houses this small elephant trunk looking piece. And this right here is what seals the deal for the look to make this figure work. So with this hood going right over, it actually makes this look pretty good. Obviously no face printing on the back because this is really the face right here through this breathing tube. The last two figures that are unique to the set are both of these stormtroopers. With the orange pauldron and the black pauldron, you can see they both have sand markings all over them as well as the ammo pouch. They do indeed have a dual molded helmet. This is the new stormtrooper mold helmet that LEGO has been using, and they both have different faces. You can see one's a little bit angrier, one looks maybe a little bit younger, and they both come with the backpack, which is attached to this clear piece that allows them to carry additional accessories. The remaining figures here are all ones that we've seen before in the previous Cantina set, which includes Wooher, all three of the Biff, Han, and Greedo. And then this old bent Obi-Wan Kenobi also comes in the Death Star Cannon set. And this is, of course, Farm Boy Luke from the Luke's Land Speeder set. And then I think these are the most common minifigures you can find, R2, C3PO, and Chewie, who are all in about 10 different sets. Now, because it is such an expensive set and it comes with so many figures, you could easily toss up between which species to include and not include, and maybe little building details here and there, but I'm not a master mock builder, so I don't exactly have ways that I could have made these things better. The fact that it included these two buildings to give it a more dynamic display view and just more customizable options, I think is fantastic already. So I don't really have anything really that I want to complain about, instead of just kind of praising the additional platforming areas on the sides of the building that allow you just to have so much more fun and kind of where you place your minifigures. In terms of who the set is designed for, despite it being an 18+ set, I actually think a lot of young kids would have a lot of fun playing with this set. And also I hope it doesn't encourage drinking at young ages because there is a bar scene involved. Like I said, you can take this section off, so the actual size of it can be condensed to about 15 by 15 inches. Now compare that with the other Master Builder Series set, Betrayal at Cloud City, and you can see this is so much more massive and chunky, and this isn't even all of it. There's a carbon freezing chamber and the Slave One landing pad. So this comparatively easily takes 2 feet by 2 feet, whereas this can actually fit on the shelves I have behind me. Anyways, for a $350 price point, it is quite expensive, but one that I would definitely want to have in my collection if I were you. So that is pretty much it for this review, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, happy building.